Guys, this is one of my all-time favorite activities, and that is to make a diorama. And because we're talking about dinosaurs and it's dinosaur weeks, I should say, Erin has put up some really great videos to give you an idea of what it looked like during the time of the dinosaurs. Remember, dinosaurs lived 350 million years ago. The Earth looked completely different. All the continents were one, Pangea. And so these dinosaurs, which are giant reptiles, roamed the Earth, or roamed that giant supercontinent. And we're going to just create a little tiny like microcosm of their dinosaur habitat. And one way to do that is by making a diorama. So what I've done here is super simple. And that is, I've just taken a container, and we have a bag of them over here for you. And I've put some soil in here, like I've done with this one. And then I didn't bring my bag in with me, but I think you'll get it. And then I sprinkled some bird seed. This is nothing right here but wild bird seed that I sprinkled in some soil, which is kind of like what I have in this one right here. And you can grow these, believe it or not, in anything. This is like a little air purifier thing that I had in my living room, hoping it would help. Since my dog is kind of stinky right now, it really did not. But anyhow, I put a little soil down in here. I put some bird seed in here. And in a couple days, this is just going to sprout. Here's one that I put in a jar. I was going to put a little dinosaur in here, but this grew so thick and so dense that Jason just put a couple dinosaur stickers on the outside. So we're kind of trying to recreate a dinosaur habitat. Now, we have lots of different things that you can put in here. We've got, of course, our soil. We've got small rocks. We've got large rocks. And we've got, when we went on our walk, a giant bin full of all kinds of things that we found at White Oak Park. You can see back here, I stuck a pine cone in here. Kind of looked like a evergreen tree of some sort, a prehistoric evergreen tree. We've got lots of different pine cones in here, from, oopsie, little tiny ones to great big ones to medium-sized ones. And you can stick those in. When I first put this one in, my grass was really short, so it stood out. Now my grass is so tall, I think I need to mow. In fact, it's really almost kind of covered up my dinosaur. But if you don't want to go this far, you could instead take a container and you could just put in some rocks. And I've got some really nice ones here. I'm just going to kind of lay these on the bottom. Okay, put some rocks in here. I'm going to put maybe, it's a little harder maybe to make things stand up. What you could do is put a little glue on the bottom of here, or just kind of like push this in here with your rocks, or put a larger rock in front of it to kind of hold it in place if that's something you wanted to do. Here's a really nice, this looks like a piece of coal almost. I'm going to put this over here like this perhaps. Hold that up there. I might stand another one back here. And you know what? These rocks are just things you can find. So, you know, you don't have to, this is nothing fancy. This is just rocks. These are like little aquarium rocks, actually. So I'm going to stand this up in here. I'm going to go with more of a rocky habitat. Maybe put a couple more little pine cones down here. And I'm just going to stand my big dinosaur right inside here. So you've got options for a couple of different habitats. Oh, here in this one, I actually buried. Now, of course, it did get buried. Oh, and look, the grass is even growing up through the skull. That's so appropriate. So here's a little skull down here hidden in this habitat. Here is this one. You could, if you chose to not use a dinosaur that looked like it was alive, you could actually use one of these that is a skeleton of a dinosaur. Only he, of course, would be laying down, and you'd still have a very cool diorama. So you've got a lot of different options. We've got all the materials for you. This is stuff we won't necessarily bag up, but it will be in a bin in the learning center for you, okay? And you can just go in and pick and choose. We've got the bag of different size containers. We've got different rocks. We've got the soil if you choose to grow one, okay? And this takes about, this is probably 2 weeks worth of growth, but if you started it today or like sometime this week, by next week, you'd probably have your grass or your seed would be growing about halfway up the side of the jar. It grows really quickly. So, and in fact, I think I've got in here, I've discovered I've got some sunflowers growing in here too. So, and I've got some mint from my garden. If anybody wants to have, I can bring something if you want different types of plants that I just pulled out and grew. So I think this is a fun activity. I hope you have fun doing it, and I'll be anxious to see, maybe we can set up a table and display these when you're all done. All right, thanks guys, have fun doing this.